Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
All right.
Yes.
All right, you're listening to Transparency and Merit. We're back.
We are back.
My name's Joe. I'm here with Brian. And we did a list. Top 10 movies about friendship. How can you go wrong?
How can you go wrong? How can you go wrong?
Did you ever have a friend that is no longer your friend?
You know what? That's happened, Joe. That's happened more times than I care ever to count.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I don't. You know what? I mean, honestly, you know, with something like that, I mean, like friends disappoint us in so many ways. And, you know, like to become a good friend, Joe, there are times when, you know, you got to get through disappointments and you got to be tolerant. But there are some times when, you know, like the person's just a bad, you know, like they whatever it is, they don't know how to be a good friend and they just don't know how to behave properly. And I've had more than one of those.
The beat goes on your entire life. You're going to go through changes. Do you have any friends that you've met when you were super young?
Oh, yeah. You know what? And they just, you know, the one friend that I had when I was super young is a really good person. But, you know what? I mean, we just fell off. You know, I might perhaps try to reconnect with him again.
He hasn't contacted you or vice versa during all this?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah, just, you know what? Just things fall by the wayside.
No, because like for me, the friend of mine that I grew up with, I met him in second or third grade. He's texted me and we've been kind of talking, and it's pretty interesting to this whole thing we're going through, these changes, and that's really what happens, I think, with friends. You know, you go through changes, major life changes, and whatever appeal there was maybe when you were kids or at a different point in your life, it doesn't appeal to you anymore maybe, and you don't know how to express. I think that's a whole show for another show. You don't know how to express and get through certain changes, and suddenly you realize, wow, I can meet a million other new people out there, and they kind of get lost in the shuffle maybe. I don't know what makes a lifelong friend. Or if
I'll tell you something. Well, we are going over the top 10 movies about friendship. Yes. And I, you know what? I mean, I'm hoping that this pandemic doesn't kill the movies. We need the movies to make a comeback. We need them more than ever at this time. I mean, I'm hoping when this thing subsides, the movie theaters and the movie-going experience makes a comeback. Just hoping. Maybe I'm a dreamer, but we're talking about movies. This is the time to dream. This is a time to, like, you know, get ready for your popcorn and your hot dog and your red vines and your big drink and just sit and have a good time at the movies. And this is I guess I would say our top 10, but actually more my top 10
Here we
that
go.
I thought of about friendship. So, Joe, do you want to, should I go into my number 10? We'll start number 10 to number 1. So,
Yeah.
my number 10 is the Sunshine Boys.
That's right.
The Sunshine Boys with
George Burns and Walter Matthau. If you were, I was thinking about this before the show. If you were George Burns or Walter Matthau, which of these two dudes are you?
Probably I'm more of a Walter Matthau for me anyway. I want to say, though,
George Burns were a perfect fit.
Yeah, I do want to say that Dick Van Dyke and Jerry Van Dyke did the play, and I mean Jerry Van Dyke has passed on, but it was really good, and you can look that up on YouTube as well. And it's, you know what, it's they're not, you know, really friends anymore. It's more about falling away friendship, but it is a really good and great film. Joe, do you have anything to add on the Sunshine Boys?
When I watch it, it feels like the year it was made, but it didn't age badly. It's still a very funny, good movie.
The dialogue in it is just great. I mean, it's a very funny film, and I recommend that people watch the Dick Van Dyke, Jerry Van Dyke, their take on it. I thought it was really good and well done.
On over there in the chat board, we got some people in there. Hello, thank you for joining us. All right, are we ready to go into number 9?
Number 9, I think. Joe, I think you enjoyed this film far more than I did, but I still enjoyed it. I mean, I didn't enjoy it when I first saw it, but when I looked at it again, I was kind of an angry person at that time, so I was not. But as I've looked at the film again, it is an enjoyable film. It is about friendship. For me, I got to say that
Ferris Bueller, of course, we're talking about.
You know, for me, because I had such a tough time with my old man, and even the times at that time, I was going through a really difficult time with my father, and I thought, this is a rich kid who even though his father doesn't talk to him, and I was like, I wish my old man didn't talk to me, kind of thing. I wasn't. But, you know, I've kind of softened up to that film over the years. Joe, do you have anything to add about this film?
Ferris Bueller?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was perfect for its time. And I've watched it, and it's aged pretty well compared to some of these other ones. To a lot of coming-of-age film. It's one of the best coming-of-age films, but the friendship with Cameron and Ferris is memorable, and I mean, anybody that lived in the 80s loved that movie. I hope. Maybe not. I didn't totally relate, because obviously this is kind of a, you know, these guys had money, and that wasn't everybody, but yeah. There was something very endearing. Unfortunately, Matthew Broderick's career has sucked ever since this movie. I don't know why. He's never been even close to as entertaining as Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Well, that and War Games. I mean, like, yeah, he hasn't made.
War Games was before.
Yeah, no, but I mean, War Games, and then he did this, and then afterwards, yeah, he really hasn't. He hasn't done anything that has much merit to it. I mean, he did Project X, which I enjoyed. Actually, I remember I went to that with a girl, and because it was about. Did you see that film Project X, when he played the Air Force pilot and he was working with the monkeys?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I remember the girl I was with waited the rest of the film out in the lobby, and I wondered where the hell she went. But yeah. Anyway, do we want to go into number 8?
Number 8. Number 8 is
Forrest Gump.
Yes.
You know, in this film, he has a number of friends.
Oops.
Yeah, this is it. Bubba, you know, he has Bubba. He has Lieutenant Dan. He has, I mean, of course, the girl of his dreams, but that's more of an infatuation and love thing.
Jenny,
yeah. And, you know, the film itself is a complete tearjerker, and it's about redemption and everything else. Still holds up today. Is a great.
I saw that at the Winnetka Drive-In Theater the first time.
Did it put a lump in your throat?
Sure did. All right. Number 7, I think, right?
Number 7.
All right.
And guys, some of this is only the top 3 for me. I mean, because I interchange with what I like and what I don't like, but only the top 3 for me are really like the top ones that I'm definite on.
And that was on my appeal. We talked about all of them, but really, the top movies are mostly Brian. The rest, I think, are just good friendship movies. I think we came up with some good ones, but I think we might be lacking a little bit as far as the classics go. We got some older films, but not super old. We went back in time, but not all the way back in time.
So number 7, the Shawshank Redemption, and you know, this film, you know, this is a friendship that builds over time. Both are in harsh circumstances, and was also, like, I think, our number 3 on as far as stoicism is concerned. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of morality to it, and there's just a really fine pace to this film that, you know, it's kind of whimsical, and it didn't make my top 3 or top 4 for reasons I'll get into when I go into my number 1. So, Joe, do you have anything to add on the Shawshank Redemption?
No, it's a lot. There's a lot of people who think this movie is about stoicism.
Yeah, because when we did a film about stoicism, this was actually I think it was further up there with films, with the movie about stoicism and about just, you know, just thinking and not, you know, emoting.
Good movie. Maybe it might be a little overrated on our list. I'll be honest. I think there's other movies who are Beavis and Butthead to America is not on our list, but I'd even move that into 7th place over this movie, perhaps.
And the true, yeah, and Darren mentions the True Grit. I was going to mention that Darren mentions the True Grit remake. I want to kind of, to a degree, we'll ignore our audiences of now, just because I want to continue to push forward on our top 10 list, and then maybe we'll go just before we go to our number 1, we'll maybe go for a few honorable mentions.
Number 6 is Beaches.
Beaches.
You know, all of Brian's movies at first were all male related, you know, friends for the most. Well, male. There were females, obviously, and that played big roles in those films as well. But I thought maybe a movie where the 2 friends were female, and this is, I think we both kind of agree, this is a good movie.
And it's the ultimate, like, you know, doing a person the most solid you can do is, you know, take, you know, the friendship is so much that she believes that, hey, she could raise her her child. And yeah, I thought it was it was a bittersweet film, and I did enjoy it. And it kind of put a lump in my throat, to be honest with you. Anything to add, Joe, before we go to number 5?
No, I think we're ready. Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. Right?
Now, I wonder if we want to show a trailer to this or anything like that. This film is, was really overlooked, I think 2015. And to me is just a really, really, gut-wrenching, almost tear-jerking film that, deals with adolescence and, and then he becomes a little bit more mature because, his view on life, he thinks is intelligent, so he won't get hurt. And he ends up, getting hurt because he is, basically becoming friends with a person that's dying, and he's a person that doesn't want to consider anybody his friend, and he tries to blend in, and it's really a very, very good film.
Didn't see it. That's the only movie on this list I haven't seen.
You might want to take, you got some time. That's a film I would really take a look at. It's one of the more underrated films out there. I found it to be very good.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Where are you at on number 4?
Number 4. That is another female movie. And that is Thelma and Louise. And, great cinematography, great direction, and the story just keeps you, from beginning to end. It is a great joyride, even though the ending is kind of sad. You kind of it's the one film for me that's kind of sad, but it puts you in a little bit of a kick in your step. Like, man, you just saw. I mean, when I walked out of it, I said I saw a really good film. Joe, what did you think of this film?
I liked it. Yeah, that was one of those movies that got me. It was very entertaining, and yeah, not much more to comment on it. It was just a great movie. A lot of people say it's one of Brad Pitt's best movies also.
Yeah. Well, it's one of his first.
One of his first, yeah.
Now, I don't know if it was his first or we made a theatrical debut, but it was really good.
Okay. All right. Moving right along.
The number 3.
Number 3. And what is that one?
Number 3 is The Last Picture Show.
No. Oh, yeah. Maybe. We could do it that way.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. No, number 3 is American Graffiti. My bad. Number 3 is American Graffiti. Jeez. Hey.
How dare you? How dare you?
Number 3 is American Graffiti.
You failed the quiz.
I failed the quiz. Yeah, number 3 is American. I did what they did at the Oscars. Remember, they picked the wrong film, and the whole everyone who went up there.
They gave
same
it away.
thing. So number 3 is American Graffiti. Joe, did you ever do any cruising when you were a kid?
A little bit. It wasn't anything like what was in this. Kind of died out by the time I came around.
A cruising culture and just
Van Nuys, California was a huge in the San Fernando Valley was a huge. I think outside of Sunset, which is maybe the most popular place, but Van Nuys for some reason was a big cruising spot. But
And
that movie takes me back. Anytime I watch it, I love it. I could jump in watching that movie at any scene and just be completely engulfed in the story. It's really good.
and it's about like, hey man, we're getting out of high school, and these are our last days of kind of freedom, and we're gonna have to grow up. The one guy who's the hot rodder, he's never grown up. He's still like has that high school mentality, and the rest are moving on, except for Toad. He's not moving on at all.
It's old America. I think we might be moving on after all this is said.
Well, with social distancing, this may be the new trend. But I say this again: I hope America doesn't let the movie theater die. I hope the world doesn't let the movie theater die. Movies are that'll just be sad.
All right. I like the number 2.
Republic of Liberty just said something that made me laugh.
Well, that'll be a first.
Yeah.
The Last Picture Show.
Oh yes, and that
great movie.
Great film. Great film about friendship and lovers triangles and just the like. I mean, and it's also about kids growing up and having to kind of mature, and it's just an all-around enjoyable film that and a lot of people who lived in small towns are my father worked on a ranch when he was a kid in the 50s.
Spawn Ranch?
Spawn Ranch. No, it was in Wilcox, Arizona.
Okay.
And he really related to this film, so I kind of related to it too, because I went to Wilcox and I saw like my father, the family would take trips across America sometimes, and we'd see these small little towns.
I've been there on a road trip. I love it. I've been to Wilcox maybe 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Have you been up there since you were a kid?
No, I haven't been there as an adult.
Good place to go.
Whoa, what was that? Loud noise up there. Okay, so before we get, I guess, to our honorable mentions, I guess we want to, before we get to our number 1, should we say a few people had honorable mentions. One was Midnight Run, Dumb and Dumber, Wayne's World, Beavis and Butthead, The Green Mile. The Green Book I didn't pick. It's a great film, by the way.
The Green Mile.
The Green Mile was a great film.
Are you talking about the Green Book?
The Green Book is a great film.
I didn't see that. Biloxi Blues was definitely Matthew Broderick's, I think, best post Ferris Bueller movie. I'm just saying.
So
Tommy Boy, friendship movie.
That is a good. It is entertaining. That film is very entertaining. What did I pick? Old Yeller didn't get picked. That is also a film about a boy and his dog. Marley and Me, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. There are a few films that didn't get picked, and this is all subjective, by the way.
Of course. No, it's the real deal.
Swingers didn't get picked.
Tombstone. Damn good.
Family, but it was, well done as well.
Mm-hmm.
So without further ado,
See No Evil. Was that a movie about friendships? I can't remember.
Yes, it was. Not one of my, I think, as I recall, not one of my favorites.
Good pick, Nick. All right. let's do number one. Darren knows what we're gonna say.
Darren knows what we're going to say. So why don't we show? Should we show a trailer of this?
No,
film?
you know what? I was just gonna play some theme music because I think the theme song was so good.
Hopefully, it's not copyrighted.
Yeah, I'll play a little bit. So good. And let's do the banner for it. Number one. What is number one?
Midnight Cowboy.
Oh, you're right. All right. That's about it. Go listen. You're gonna have to go listen to the rest later. Okay? Just go listen to it.
Go just listen to it. Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, Midnight Cowboy. You know what?
Cowboy.
What can I tell you, Joe? And it's something that America needs today. I think it needs brutal honesty, and it needs to, we need to be angry. We need to get angry at each other and mad at each other so we can cut through all the crap. Because when the film begins, like when the two friendships, when the John Voight character and Ratso Rizzo first meet up, the John Voight character gets really pissed. I mean, and he is ready. The cowboy gets ready to meet this city dude, and he's ready to just strangle him and rip off his head, basically. And let's play the trailer real quick.
Well, we'll see if it plays, Mike. So, come on.
What is your thing not working? What's going on here?
I got a commercial to get through. Come on.
Get out of here. It's all about Zoom now, baby. All about Zoom. It's all about a house party without, yeah.
Well.
I'm Joe Buck from Texas.
Joe Buck.
From the Bronx.
And I'm gonna buy you a drink. What the hell do you think of that?
Well, I don't mind if I do.
Why do you think I come all the way up here from Texas for? Well, I'm a hustler. You didn't know that?
You were gonna make for money? Huh?
Will you get out of here?
You gotta get yourself some kind of management.
Only the echo.
Hey, I'm walking here. I'm walking here.
Don't worry about that. Actually, that ain't a bad way to pick up insurance, you know.
In New York, no rich lady with any class at all buys that cowboy crap anymore.
Women like me, goddammit. Hell, the only one thing I've ever been good for is loving.
But for that service, I charge $20.
I happen to be his manager.
Okay.
I'll buy you coffee, huh?
That was a great scene, by the
I
way.
don't think I can walk anymore. You know what they do to you when they know you can't. When they find out that you can't walk.
I'll just tell them I don't go nowhere without my buddy here. You know what you gotta do, cowboy?
I'm scared.
Where you going?
I gotta get a doctor.
No doctors, no cops.
You're sick, boy. You need a damn doctor.
Hey, put me on a bus. I don't need you.
Even the trailer. Perfect. That's a
Okay,
perfect trailer.
And like I said, if America's going to get through this, we need brutal honesty. We need to get through all the crap. I mean, the thing about the friendship, it went through its trials and tribulations, and it was real. It cut through all the crap and the pretense and everything else. And to me, it was just probably one of the most real films out there. It was just ultra realistic in its depiction of life. And it didn't shy away from anything, in my opinion. And that's why, to me, Midnight Cowboy is the #1 film about friendship. Joe, do you have anything to add on that?
No, I think we are all done. But yes, Brenda Vaccaro. Wow. Brenda Vaccaro was amazing. I guess she's still alive. She's 80 years old.
Is that the woman who was in Midnight Cowboy?
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think she's alive anymore. I could be wrong.
She is. Oh, wait. I don't know if she was, if that was, yes, she was in that movie. Yeah.
I got to take a look at that.
She was in
Usually
that.
I'm up on people's deaths.
She
So-
paid $20 to get with him.
Oh, okay, that one. Okay. I thought the other Jewish lady, she has passed away recently. I forget her name, but she was the woman in the beginning of the film. And like I said, this film goes through life, death, and the tribulations of life. And you know what? And how important friendship is in this world, because, you know, at the end of the day, you want someone to have your back. And when you lose it, and how difficult it is when you lose that. I think that's all we got to say on that, Joe.
We'll end it on that, and we'll be gone. We'll be out of here. All done. That's Brenda Vaccaro. Bye, Brenda. Bye to everybody who listened, and to everybody who has listened. Please subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe. Yeah, take a look. All right.
Tell us your top 10 movies about friendship.